True or not, that is one fine story. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest sports urban legends. For this list, we're looking at our favorite urban legends, myths, and stories throughout the world of sports. It doesn't matter if these urban legends happen to be true or not, as we're mainly interested in the stories themselves rather than the factual merits behind them. Number 10. Sonny Liston and the Phantom Punch. In 1965, the heavily promoted heavyweight bout between Sonny Liston and all-time great Muhammad Ali took place. However, like an old-school Mayweather vs. Pacquiao bout, the match was massively disappointing, as Ali knocked out Liston within minutes.
Last time, did not tell the world that I had a surprise, and that if I told you the surprise, you would not come to the fight.
Many people immediately began to cry foul as A, a large percentage of those in attendance didn't actually see Ali punch Liston, and B, those who did claimed the punch wasn't powerful enough to knock out a professional boxer.
He's now talking to the press. We have the entire Mutual Network.
This all led to a conspiracy theory that Liston threw the fight due to personal and/or mob-connected reasons, while the blow in question became dubbed the Phantom Punch. Number 9. Curt Schilling faked his bloody sock for drama. The 2004 American League Championship Series has become legendary, and Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling was a huge part of it. In Game 6, Boston was down a game to the Yankees, but with Schilling's dominating performance, the Sox won the game and clinched the World Series.
The Boston Red Sox have won the pennant.
To top off the drama, Schilling was pitching on an injured and bloody ankle. However, due to the popularity of the story, theories soon began that claimed that Schilling was putting either ketchup or paint on his sock to make his performance more dramatic. Schilling has vehemently denied this conspiracy, yet it still remains. Number 8. Jimmy Hoffa is buried at Giant Stadium. The story of Jimmy Hoffa, a union leader who disappeared in 1975, is deliciously enticing.
Take your speech. I don't even know who I was talking about, and I don't know what you're talking about.
He was declared legally dead in 1982, and his body has never been found. His disappearance coincided nicely with the construction of Giant Stadium, which broke ground in 1972 and officially opened in 1976, 1 year after his disappearance. Naturally, stories soon circulated that Hoffa's body was buried somewhere underneath the stadium.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, but you're proving it. You're proving it, Hoffa.
However, this was nothing but a legend. The idea was busted on Mythbusters, and there was no evidence of human remains recovered when Giant Stadium was demolished in 2010.
There is no question about Hoffman. Don't you say that either.
Number 7. Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on acid.
I took some LSD when I took off with the car, and the next thing I know, there I was out there, high as a Georgia pine.
As he himself claimed, Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis forgot he had a game to play, dropped acid, and then proceeded to pitch a no-hitter while tripping out. It makes for a great story, but the truth is questionable.
Those who've taken LSD, tell the others how hard that might be.
Many witnesses and associates claim he wasn't high, and Ellis's teammates didn't notice anything off about his behavior. Meanwhile, in his original 1976 biography, Doc claimed he'd been drinking vodka and not freaking out on LSD. But either way, Ellis is now the guy who pitched a no-hitter on LSD, regardless of whether it's true.
It was an ugly no-hitter. I got letters about it, but it was a no-no.
Number 6. Delonte West had a dalliance with LeBron James's mom. Many blamed LeBron James's uncharacteristically poor performance for the Cleveland Cavaliers losing to the Boston Celtics during the 2010 NBA playoffs. Not long after, an email began to circulate claiming that James had caught teammate West sleeping with his mother, which resulted in his poor playing. Reputable websites began publishing the story, and it soon became widespread internet gossip. The story was further fueled when James moved to Florida soon after to play for the Miami Heat, supposedly to get away from West and his mother.
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
And that is the power of an internet rumor, which is, of course, 100% unproven, despite West's insinuations.
Sleeping with LeBron's mom? No. You ain't sleeping with LeBron's mom? Nah, man.
Number 5. Back to the Future Part 2 predicted the 1997 World Series.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
In 1997, the Florida Marlins defeated the Cleveland Indians to win the World Series, an outcome that was supposedly predicted 8 years earlier in Back to the Future Part 2. In the film, Marty travels to 2015 and sees a broadcast mentioning that an unnamed Miami team defeated the Indians in the 1997 World Series, despite there being no Miami team when the movie was released. Except that's not what happens.
Wait a minute. Cubs win World Series against Miami?
In actuality, Marty hears about the Cubs beating Miami, but there is no mention of 1997 or the Cleveland Indians. But then again, maybe the movie is different in the Biff timeline. Number 4. Kevin Costner was discovered with Cal Ripken Jr.'s wife.
And now the fans rise as one. Sensing what's happened?
In September 1995, the Baltimore Orioles' Cal Ripken Jr. broke the baseball record for consecutive games played by appearing in his 2,131st straight game, a streak that continued until 1998.
I'm not sure that my reactions showed how I really felt.
However, according to the internet, this streak was almost ended 1 year early. Per the rumor, Ripken found actor Kevin Costner in bed with his wife, and after beating Costner up for the offense, decided not to play that night. And rather than see the streak end, the Orioles sabotaged the stadium lights to have the game postponed. This story has been proven false, but it's still an internet favorite nonetheless. Number 3. The 1985 NBA draft was rigged. Throughout the mid-70s and early 80s, the once dominant New York Knicks were suffering, and audiences were beginning to lose interest, which meant a loss of revenue.
The Knicks' delicate chemistry was one of the keys to their success, but that fine balance would soon have to be altered.
But then the Knicks won the number 1 pick in the 1985 draft and scored Patrick Ewing, who helped the team return to dominance.
Ewing. Oh, wow.
Oh, now he's gonna take him to dinner.
However, many believe the draft was less fate and more fixed. Allegedly, NBA Commissioner David Stern rigged the selection by either bending or freezing the Knicks envelope, allowing him to pick the correct envelope and guarantee the Knicks' first-round pick. Either way, it certainly put New York back on the map. Now there's a conspiracy theory.
I just play as hard as I possibly can. That's all I can do.
Number 2. Michael Jordan's gambling ban. Michael Jordan is arguably the most famous basketball player ever, and his first retirement, announced in October 1993, shocked the world. Fans were even more flabbergasted when he switched sports and signed with the Chicago White Sox's AA affiliate before returning to basketball 1 year later.
Get this guy a tennis racket.
Did everyone get mad at you?
No.
However, many people suspect this wasn't a retirement, it was a punishment. Theorists believe that Jordan had gotten in trouble with the NBA for gambling, and he was suspended as a result. To save face and avoid public humiliation, the NBA allowed him to retire for a year and play baseball while he served his suspension.
I don't think you should have done that, Doc.
Wow, a lot of these really blew my mind. I mean, I already knew about the Back to the Future one and I knew it was wrong, but some of the other ones are believable. Which one do you think is the most likely to be true? Maybe it's number 1. But before we unveil our top pick, here are a few legendary honorable mentions, which of course are not necessarily true.
Unitas again. The pass to Richardson. He has the ball. The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions.
We were prohibited from testing players to determine which particular players were using what substances.
I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole. Well, good Lord, must have been with me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Wilt Chamberlain had relations with 20,000 women.
Underneath the Wilt, he's round open.
In his memoir, A View from Above, basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain famously, or perhaps infamously, declared that as a bachelor he had slept with up to 20,000 women throughout his lifetime. Chamberlain based the math off a 10-day period wherein he slept with 23 women, or 2.3 women per day. He then conservatively cut the number in 2 and multiplied by how old he was, and subtracted 15 years. Mind you, not everyone was impressed, while others just had their doubts.
How much is myth and how much is for real, Matt Gugas, about Wilt to Stilt?
Oh, it's all for real. Well, maybe not all. So there are some parts of his life that are a little mythological.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.